city's traffic guidelines, this project does not warrant really the preparation of a traffic analysis. It does not exceed that threshold. That said, the applicant still did prepare a focused traffic analysis just to include as part of their application. And with that, they also included a study. They studied one intersection, the Valley Boulevard and Willow Avenue. As you can see in the study, that particular intersection, it currently operates at level of service B and would continue to operate at level of service B with the addition of the project traffic. So no mitigation or fair share fees are required, no improvements necessary to that intersection. It is an existing signalized intersection. Additionally, DUDEC prepared an initial study in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act. The determination from that initial study is that the project qualifies for a mitigated negative declaration. There was a 30-day public comment period where that document was circulated for public review from April 17th of this year to May 16th of this year. No comment letters were received during that comment period. I'd just kind of in summary like to emphasize that this project before you tonight, it is consistent with the proposed IP zone. The proposed IP zone and the proposed business park land use designation are consistent with the designations existing in the surrounding area. The design of the project before you meets or exceeds the requirements of Chapter 18.112 of the Rialto Municipal Code, which regulates new industrial warehouse developments. And the project's consistent with the existing industrial uses to the north, and west of the site. The environmental studies prepared for the project concluded that the impacts of the project will be less than significant with the incorporation of the mitigation cited in the mitigation monitoring and reporting program attached to the agenda report. This project will serve to develop an improve an underdeveloped site with the highest and best use that is accommodated by the proposed industrial park zone. The project went to the Economic Development Committee on June 28th, 2023. At that meeting, the committee expressed general support for the project and directed the applicant to continue working with staff. And lastly, the city did circulate public hearing notices. They were mailed to all property owners within 1,000 feet of the project site. One was also published in the San Bernardino Sun newspaper. And with that, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt the attached resolutions before you tonight. And I'll just note that since this item has both a general plan amendment and a specific plan amendment, the action before the commission tonight is to forward a recommendation to the City Council. And so staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt those resolutions, forwarding to the City Council a recommendation to approve the project and all of its associated entitlements. And that concludes my presentation. The applicant is available in the audience as well.
Okay. So go ahead and open the public hearing first, and then we'll ask if any questions of staff. Okay, do we have anyone wishing to speak on this item?
No.
Does the applicant wish to speak on this item? Sir, before you speak, can you please state your name and address for the record?
Evening. My name is Kevin Rice. Address is 116 Knob Avenue, Del Mar, California. I just want to say thanks all of you for taking your time to review the project. We've been able to build 2 previous projects in Rialto, one at Willow and San Bernardino, and one over at Palmetto and Baseline near the Renaissance area. Always exciting to get a chance to build a project in Rialto, and appreciate the efforts of your staff, especially Daniel and Vince on the planning engineering side, reviewing and helping us kind of shepherd things through. Our whole team, as far as architectural, engineering, and environmentals here, so any questions you guys have, we're happy to field them. And thanks again for your time and consideration. I appreciate it.
Thanks, sir. Any questions on this one, guys?
I'd like to know, this is just in general, this is across the street from that new development. What's the traffic going to look like once this is built, if this is approved? Is it...
What development are you referring to?
Huh?
You're talking about the Walmart area?
On the, no, on the other side. This is the valley, right?
Yeah.
Okay, on the other side is the new development that's going on. I don't remember the name, Birchner or something?
Yeah.
Bircher, yeah.
I have.
When those are completed, what's the traffic going to look like?
So the analysis that's conducted before the commission tonight for this project shows that with the existing traffic in the area and the project generated by this, the traffic generated by this project, that the local intersections will continue to operate at an acceptable level of service. The Bircher project did generate significantly more traffic, and so it did have a much wider scope to its analysis, studied intersections that were a lot further away. And there were, in that project, cumulative impacts that were identified that are being mitigated through fair share funds. Now, that was warranted for that particular project. As I mentioned in my presentation, this particular project is generating an insignificant amount of traffic to the point where it does not even exceed the city's threshold for even conducting a traffic analysis. That said, one was still done. And like I said, the traffic analysis identifies that the local intersections will continue to operate at an acceptable level of service with this project.
And a follow-up to that question is how far is it from the junior high?
Joe Baca Middle School is 1 block west of this particular project site. So what is that, about a quarter mile to the west?
Yeah, I did a quick, I looked on Google with real quick. It's 1,300 linear feet away. So about a quarter, close to a quarter mile.
Okay. Yeah, because all of this traffic, and you've got young people in school and all that, and that's a concern I have for old people and young people. And I just don't like to see a lot of smog and all kinds of crap coming through.
All this track is gonna go over down Riverside down to the freeway.
You're saying it's gonna go south?
Yeah.
The truck traffic will primarily utilize Valley east of the site to Riverside Avenue. That's the closest on-ramp, and that's where the truck drivers will primarily head to, rather than heading west towards Cedar. But Valley Boulevard is also designated as a truck route by the city's
Right,
general
I
plan.
understand that, yeah. But I still have a concern about
Oh, yeah.
all the traffic coming around that area. And that's been my concern, and I understand the Transportation Committee has taken that into account.
The Transportation Commission would probably need to do some additional research for you. They, to my knowledge, they have not had any meetings in the last several months. So the traffic studies now at this point are being reviewed and recommended by the staff.
How long has it been since they last met? About 6 months?
I'd have to do some research for you.
Pardon me?
I'd have to do some research for you and find out when their last meeting occurred. But it's been some amount of time.
Yeah. I have a question, Daniel. I see it's 237 daily vehicle trips in and out of there. How long does they think a truck should go in and get out before they leave? 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day? How long the truck, when they come in there, how long do they stay before they move out?
Yeah, I think that would probably be determined by the tenant and what their needs are. Like, does the truck immediately unload and reload and leave, or does it stay there for a while?
But in order to get 237 routes in there, they got to be moving in and out pretty fast, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is worst case scenario. Anytime we do a traffic analysis of a speculative warehouse building, this is the worst case scenario. Most times, 99 times out of 100, the applicant or the tenant is generating far fewer trips than what is analyzed in the traffic study. Because to your point, yeah, I mean, this building must be very active, that it's unloading and filling 95 trucks in one day. They're doing pretty good business.
Yeah.
Well, since the builder is here, do they know?
We can ask them. I don't think they have a tenant yet
No,
for the
but-
building, but they might be able to give us a little more educated information.
Okay.
Does that come up now?
Hey, Kevin Rice again. We sort of specialize in buildings of this size range, and to Daniel's point earlier, all the modeling they do for traffic, it really stress tests kind of a max volume of what could be theoretically. The reality is the tenants in these building sizes, they're small businesses. So it's dramatically different, even though it's a warehouse and aesthetically it may look like a smaller version of the big warehouses you guys see with Amazon and such up in Baseline Road area. It's a night and day difference as far as the actual volume that they get. They usually have a very, very small truck volume on a daily basis. Because to churn that amount of volume, they'd be filling and emptying the warehouse multiple times in the same day. So it's a much more reduced level than that. The trucks typically don't stick around that often because that's bad for their business. So they typically unload and go. I'd say usually the trucks are for maybe an hour and then they take off. What they usually do is they have the dock positions. So they'll stage one of the docks, whatever's going to go into the truck. So they really only use half the doors as well. So it's also kind of misleading because you'll see there's 14 doors. They really only use 7 because they stack every other door with the logistics that are going to go. So that even further sort of reduces the actual pragmatic, I guess, utilitarian function of it, if that makes sense. So I don't know how many trucks on average we have in a day. There's also a lot of variety because this is speculative in the tenant base. So some folks, very, very little, some higher, so there's a lot of variability in that, but just by the fact that it's a relatively small building, you're not gonna see a ton of traffic. And to this gentleman's point, we'd anticipate that the tenant here, as majority are, they're freeway driven from the 10, right? So I'd anticipate from a traffic flow standpoint for the building, the vast majority, if not all, of the truck traffic is gonna come up Riverside Ave. They're gonna make that short left down Valley, come into the project, and then exit back out to Valley and get back on the 10. So different from previous projects that I did here, by the Walmart or up in the Renaissance. This one's so close to the exit ramp, I think that the actual truck traffic repercussions as far as circulating in the city of Rialto are pretty low here. I think they're basically just gonna duck in and duck out off of the Riverside Ave freeway intersection, and that's it.
Is your operation going to be 24/7?
Typically speaking, well, first of all, it's speculative, so I'm not sure, but I mean, the 95% solution here is that these folks work normal business hours, so they're usually 9 to 5s. It's very rare for them to have night operation.
Thank you.
Any additional questions?
The landscaping, what is the size of the trees that are being installed?
The conditions of approval require that the trees in the landscape setbacks are 24-inch box trees.
So how many decades does it take before they grow out?
I would need to consult with a landscape architect, but my own experience of seeing projects of this, a 24-inch box, maybe start to reach something that looks like maturity in 5-6 years.
Move to close the public hearing.
Okay, second? All right, good, go ahead. Have a motion.
Move to adopt the attached resolution Exhibit L, M, O, P, Q, and R, thereby forwarding to the City Council a recommendation to adopt a mitigated negative declaration prepared for the project. Change the land use designation of approximately 5.97 acres of land described in a legal description attached as Exhibit N to a business park BP with a Pacific Plan overlay. Change the Pacific Plan zoning designation of approximately 5.97 acres of land described in the legal description attached as Exhibit N to industrial park IP within the Gateway Specific Plan, allowing consolidation of 10 parcels of land into one 5.97 net acre parcel of land, and allow the development and use of a 131,625 square foot industrial warehouse building and associated paving, landscaping, fencing, lighting, and drainage improvements on said 5.97 net acres of parcel of land, subject to findings and conditions therein.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
Okay, any opposed? You and Frank abstains, right?
I do, abstain.
Okay, all right. You want to take a roll call, or you have that clearly? You good?
Yeah, I think I have it. Everybody's aye, and
Except me.
Commissioner Gonzalez abstained.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. All right. Community Development Director comments?
Well, filling in for the director, Paul Gonzalez, Community Development Manager. Just had a couple of comments. One, the question came about, was the Berkshire project, was the traffic analyzed? So typically when you have a new project comes in, they'll ask for a community project list. And what the traffic engineer will do is they'll consider all projects typically within a mile, or actually more like a 2-mile radius. So they'll take all the intersections and they'll study it, and they'll see how many trucks are coming from these newer projects. And that's kind of how they determine what the level of service is for the streets and the intersections. The other comment I did want to make is someone who worked for UPS for a bunch of years. Typically, when you have a trailer, a full 52-foot trailer will take 3 to 4 hours to unload. So if they have 13 dock doors, you could expect those trailers will be there for at least a couple hours, 3 or 4 minimum, in order to unload them. So you're not going to have 13 new trucks coming in every hour. Just to give you an idea of how long. So if it's fully stocked, 13 trucks, 3 or 4, probably longer than that, hours later, a new truck or a set of trucks could come in. So yes, when they say it's the worst case scenario, that is the worst case of as far as trucks coming in. So didn't want to kind of give you an idea of how long that they would sit there for. And also too, what we hear a lot from the truck drivers actually is, given we're in the Inland Empire and we're so far away from the docks, typically they want to try to make 2 trips. They pick up a truck, a trailer, and they come back and they want to do 2 of those a day. So typically they do 2 in an 8-hour day. So other than that, I did want to say we do have 5 weeks in August. So our meeting is going to be August 30th, which is the last Wednesday, as we mentioned earlier. And we do have a couple items already scheduled for that meeting. So other than that, that's all I had. Thank you.
Okay. Planning Commission, Commissioner Collins?
Yeah. Most of the warehouses that are coming in are spec'd. And I just want to raise a concern that could end up backfiring on us and we'd have no ability to maneuver at that time. How can we ensure that we're being proactive? Because you have this project without a tenant and what they will generate, the hours they will generate, and then you have the other one down the street. Yes.
I was going to say, if you'd like, I can provide some information on how we address the spec buildings, and that it's all prescribed in the municipal code, as was put into effect in the warehouse ordinance that was adopted a few years ago.
Yeah, maybe it'd be good to have an update on that.
Yeah, so tonight, the commission saw a conditional development permit for a new warehouse development. And the conditional development permit has conditions of approval in it that set the parameters for what this building would operate as. So essentially, whoever the tenant is, the only thing we don't know at this point is what they put in the building. Right? We already know now the limit on the number of trucks, the number on the passenger vehicles, because that's established by the conditional development permit. And the way that planning ensures that that does not, that the tenant goes into that building that's not consistent with that is we require traffic information from the tenant prior to issuing a business license. So they need to provide us their specific traffic numbers. How many employees, how many passenger car trips are they having a day? When are they coming and going? How many truck trips? When are they coming and going? All this information is provided to the city staff prior to issuance of a business license. And we compare that to the conditional development permit. Is this what was allowed? And if so, then we'll sign the business license. If not, they don't meet the standard. They don't meet the parameters. They need to find another building, or modify, propose a modification or something of that nature. But All this information that you're asking about absolutely is considered at all times from here on out. The parameters are now established. The staff know what those are and ensure that those are being met by that tenant. And like I said, the only thing we don't know is the product they're going to put in the building. That's it.
In the conditional use permit, does it regulate hours at all?
It can. It absolutely can. I mean, there are also certain areas of town that are restricted hours operation by the municipal code if they're sensitive uses, right? Or the city has a noise ordinance that says certain areas have to limit their hours to daytime hours only. The site that you saw tonight, there are no sensitive uses nearby. And so this building could potentially be a 24-hour. But also the conditional development permit is a tool that the commission could place conditions such as restriction on hours of operation.
All right.
I don't have any comments.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
All right. Good. Thank you. That was a quick meeting.